Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the Queen's Gauntlet and how exactly you can farm it this year for a chance at some really crazy rewards in the game. I do warn you, even if you get amazing at this, you're sort of capped each day in the amount you can do in a weird way, which I'll explain, and it's very low chances for you to get anything, but it's been kind of fun and something that's been occupying me this year with the Gauntlet, and I think it's worth mentioning since some of you might have just come here, got your achievement left very quickly, while in fact there's still plenty more to do. What we're farming are these things here, Gauntlet Chances. You've probably had a couple of them. You can double click them to open, and pretty much every single time you open them you will get just one of these rubbish festival tokens. However, you do have a very low chance to get a few interesting rewards out of them, namely rewards from Season 1 of Living World. I believe many of them are in the loot tables. You've got a very low chance to get a monocle. Monocle is costing around 200 to 300 gold. They have dropped in price because of this festival and because of the fact that people are very slowly farming them at the moment. And also the big one, there's an insanely rare reward you can get called the Chaos of Lyssa. You might remember last year they released two back pieces. One was Gw2 themed, one of them was Gw2 themed. The Lyssa one has now been added to the game. It looks fantastic. It only drops from these Gauntlet Chances and you get an ascended recipe for it. So whenever you get this back piece, it's always of ascended quality. I don't even know what it takes to craft them, but just the recipe itself is going for about 1,000 gold right now. There is only one on the trade. Oh, okay, apparently that was bugged out. There's not a single one on the trading post at the moment, okay? Someone's actually ordered one for 1,500 gold. You get lucky, that's 1,500 gold straight in your pocket. Or you can keep it and look utterly awesome with the Chaos of Lyssa. For the record, I think this is really cool, and pretty much every single Living World patch ArenaNet does, there should be some insanely interesting thing to do each patch. There should either be something really difficult to complete, like the Liadri content, for example, or there should be a really rare reward. Maybe they could alternate it each living story thing. This keeps people invested the whole way through, instead of feeling like they're just trying to grind out a meta achievement, say. So anyway, all that preamble done, we're going to try and farm them. I'll show you guys how I've been doing it on Elementalist. This is the quickest way that I know of personally, but I haven't seen all classes. I've really only tried it with Ellie, and it started on a little bit of advice given to me by someone who originally told me about this farm on Twitter the other day. Basically, what we're going to be doing is trying to kill a boss very quickly and then jump back in the arena. Of course, if you've got an arena to yourself, which currently I do not because there's another player here, and it will be rare to get an arena to yourself, it's very helpful, but usually you're going to have someone else that you're alternating in and out with, so it's going to bottleneck your time slightly. But the whole point is to get in, kill a boss, get out. Get in, kill a boss, get out. And every time you kill a boss, you get one of those Gauntlet Chances. Also, if you're not familiar with the arenas up here at all, you can enable gambits. Last year, the more gambits you enabled, the more money you would get out of killing someone, and there was a big farm called the Deadeye farm where you would enable a hell ton of gambits and then quickly burst that boss down, and you'd get lots of money. You just keep repeating it. Now, this year, instead of getting money from doing these, you get Gauntlet Chances. So for every boss we kill, we also get an extra chance based on the number of gambits that we have enabled. I'm going to show you guys how to do a farm with 4 gambits enabled minimum, but also the potential to do it with 5 gambits. You'll notice there are 6 gambits here on this list that you can choose from. If you try to go for the full 6 gambits, you actually don't get an extra reward for that 6th one, so you only ever need to go up to 5. You can always leave one of these disabled, and I'll talk to you guys about those options as we go forward. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the very first boss we can. First here, Halmi Hammerfell. Why Halmi Hammerfell? Because he's predictable, he has slow attacks, which is going to help us an awful lot with these gambits because we're very squishy, and he is also rather squishy to kill himself, so we can beat him very quickly. We're going to enable Halmi, and I'm going to show you guys the 4 gambits I run with, okay? We could just burst him down straight away and be done, but it would take a long time for us to get all the Gauntlet Chances we wanted, right? So what I'm going to do is enable the Exhausted Gambit. This means I cannot dodge roll any of his attacks, but he's slow, so we can handle that. I'm going to enable the On Fire Gambit, which makes us constantly tick down health, but because we kill him so quickly, that doesn't matter so much. We're going to enable the Frailty Gambit, which means if he hits us, he does a ton of damage. Like, we really melt down very quickly, but it's okay. We're going to deal with that with blinds, just as we're going to deal with the fact we can't dodge roll. And lastly, we're going to choose the Hamstrung Gambit, and this means you're constantly crippled and you're going to be very slow while moving around. But again, we're going to burst him down so quickly, that doesn't matter. The 2 gambits I'm not going to leave on for this first attempt are Squeamish, which massively reduces our damage, and Crowd Favorite, which means we have to fight 2 bosses at once. Both of these are possible. You're only ever going to have to enable one at a time, but we'll get into the discussion on that in just a second. As you can see here, I have 4 gambits enabled. disabled. If I kill Halmi now, I will get 5 Gauntlet Chances out of it, because I get 1 for killing the boss, 4 for the gambits. And so we'll just queue ourselves in. That person just died on Liadri. And here's the process. What we're going to try and do is keep him blinded, okay? So he's over there not engaged on us. I am slowly losing health due to the fire. But what I'm going to do is drop an eruption. I'm going to hit him with an a glyph of air, a signet of air, sorry, which blinds him and causes him to jump in on me. I'm going to drop a glyph of storms, which will cause us to constantly be blinding him. And then I'm just going to drop a meteor shower and a lava font on me, which will spike him out very quickly. Now, you notice there that I used my Arcane Shield. That was actually a bit of a panic button. I didn't need to do that at all. And so, actually, that utility slot is basically free. Usually, I'll have Arcane Wave in that slot, and I'll just do it one more time to demonstrate to you guys how exactly this works. I need to cut it, though, so that my skills come off of cooldown. We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, so here you go. You can see my sandstorm is just about coming off of cooldown. We'll do it one more time just to demonstrate, and then I'll go very slowly through the skill rotations up here on this ledge for you guys. So we'll head on in. There he is. He's not aggroed on us. We're going to drop an eruption. We're going to start casting Glyph of Storms. We're going to hit him with a Signet of Air. We're going to immediately go to Lava Font. We're going to drop a Meteor Shower. We're going to cast our Arcane Brilliance here, which will blast, give us Fury, mean we melt him down so much quicker. And once again, there you go, he's dead. Alright, so how exactly does this work? All of these gambits, okay, they mean that if we get hit, we take crazy damage, right? And basically, it also means you can't kite bosses easily because you're moving slowly, and you can't dodge roll easily because you're moving slowly. What does that leave us with? That leaves us with, for defense, invulnerabilities, blocks, and blinds. Blinds are what I'm specializing with right now, okay? First of all, we have to start in Earth Attunement because Glyph of Storms is a ground-targeted AoE nuke ability that changes its effect based on your attunement. If you cast it in Earth Attunement, as you can see on the skill tooltip here, it blinds the enemy. Every third pulse, it will blind. So our idea here is we start in Earth Attunement and cast a Sandstorm on ourselves so that when the boss comes in, every time he tries to hit us because he's slow, he's blinded and it doesn't mean anything. And by the time the Sandstorm runs out, hopefully he'll be dead. But since we're in Earth Attunement, I just start off by casting an Eruption here because this is extra damage. This is also a blast finish for our Lava Font when we eventually get to it. A really nice thing that I'm doing here to pull the boss is while I am casting my Sandstorm, so we start with the Eruption, we go with the Sandstorm, and in the middle of this Sandstorm cast, I pop my Signet of Air. This is instant activation. There is no cast time on it, so you can cast it while in the middle of your Sandstorm. What this will do is A, do damage to the boss, aggroing him, B, blind him, and because of the way this boss works, the second he's aggroed, he will always use a big damaging leap attack in on you. You've just aggroed him but blinded him at the same time, so that first leap will always miss because of the Signet of Air. Then he's in the Sandstorm and being perma-blinded from that point on. Right now, our Eruption is still on the ground. We've just gone into Fire Attunement. We drop a Lava Font. Lava Fonts do crazy damage. We drop our Meteor Shower after that. And you'll notice that I'm in a very specific arena here. If you guys want to do this, I'd recommend this same one. I'm in the arena above Pyroxis. This arena is, you guys might not realize this, but there are differences between the arenas in the entire Crown Pavilion down here, in the way that various things spawn. Say this person here fighting Liadri, that white vortex, these vortexes are fixed depending on the arena you're on. So some arenas, it's easier to kill Liadri than others. Similarly for me right now, it's better to be in this arena because it spawns me right against the fence. How is that useful? Because when I cast my Meteor Shower, I can cast it right up against the wall, and that effectively reduces the amount of areas meteors can land by 50%, okay? Because only like a half a circle's worth of AoEs can actually drop. This means that the boss in question takes a lot more damage, there's a lot less RNG on hitting him with certain meteors, and he melts down quicker. By that same token, we have to trait in a certain way. So let's have a look at traits. This is what I'm currently running, and there is a slight variation, which I'll talk to you guys about. Actually, no, in theory, this is all you ever really need. So, first of all, we're 6 in Fire Magic. This is a Staff build. Now, you might think, as I originally thought, okay, well, Staff is good, very good sustained damage, really, really high. But also, Staff doesn't necessarily spike as high as Ellie's can spike. Wouldn't it be better to run like a pure spike build, like a Scepter Dagger build, and just spike him down instantly? Well, I did try this, but unfortunately, he doesn't get... you don't do quite enough damage to spike him to 0. And the thing about Scepter Dagger is it's a massive spike. It's the highest spike in the game. It is higher than a Static Discharge NG. It is higher than any Backstab Thief you'll ever find. Higher than the biggest Shatter a Mesmer can possibly put off. Scepter Dagger Ellie is the highest spike, but it also has incredibly low sustained DPS afterwards. So here, if you try to run a Scepter Dagger for this particular farm, you'll find you don't quite spike him the whole way, and then you're stuck for ages, and it just takes a lot longer. So Staff is the best way to run. Now, if you're running a staff build on Ellie, I sort of think you're a bit silly if you don't run 6 in fire magic. This final trait is insanely powerful. It gives your lava font like an extra 3 ticks worth of damage. That's thousands and thousands and thousands of damage just in this trait alone. So you just go 6 in fire. I take in the middle slot Pyromancer's Alacrity, which reduces the cooldown on your fire achievement skills. And what this means is we can cast a second lava font for this farm. And also Internal Fire. This boosts our damage while we're in fire achievement. Then I'm 4 in air magic for the precision, the crit chance, Bolt to the Heart, which boosts our damage massively once the boss gets low, Arcane Lightning, which again boosts our damage because we're using skills like Arcane Brilliance. I'm 2 in Earth Magic because, again, more damage while we're close to an enemy. And lastly, I'm 2 in Arcane, which doesn't directly seem to boost our damage, but it makes the radius of our meteors larger. And by making the radius of our meteors larger, it ups the chance we're going to hit the boss with them. That, coupled with the fact we're doing it on the side of the arena, it means that our damage is high enough to spike the boss down very consistently. So, one final time, I will demonstrate the full thing to you guys, and then we'll start talking about gambits and some changes maybe you can make to this farm to get even more profit out of it. So again, we're going with Halmi Hammerfell, we're going Exhausted, we're going On Fire, we're taking Frailty, so we get hit hard, and we're taking Hamstrung. 4 gambits, then we're going to queue in and let this guy finish what he's doing. Now, if you have a second person in the arena, you can run Arcane Wave on this slot, because you're going to do a farm, then he's going to go in and take ages on the Agi or whatever the hell he's doing, and that gives your skills a chance to fully recharge. However, if you have a solo arena and you keep going against the boss over and over and over again, you can actually run Arcane Shield, and you can fight the boss the first time with a Glyph of Storms, and then you come out and your Sandstorm's still on cooldown, and that might be annoying. You might be like, well, I don't want to wait 60 seconds to do another farm. It almost makes it useless, the fact that you just spike the boss out so quickly. So instead, what you do is you do Sandstorm on the first aggro, and then the second time you go in the arena, you use Arcane Shield. And again, you'll survive with the Arcane Shield, blocking those 3 attacks, as long as you time it correctly. You aggro with the Signet of Air, and then you use the Arcane Shield. In fact, I'll demonstrate that to you guys this time. We'll try it without Sandstorm. I may fail it. I'm not too perfect with the Arcane Shield setup, but by doing that, you can keep going in and in the arena a bazillion times, spiking the boss down super quickly and rolling in Gauntlet Chances. But yeah, this guy's still fighting, so just give him a second to come out, and we'll see what we got. Looks like the jig is up for him. Alright, so here we go. I'll do demonstration number 1 first. The standard setup if someone else is in the arena and you don't need to worry about cooldowns. We start with Eruption. We go Glyph of Storms. We aggro with the Air Attunement. We swap to Fire Attunement. We drop a Lava Font. We blast in it with the Arcane Wave. Start channeling the Meteor Shower. As soon as Meteor Shower is over, we drop another Lava Font. And the boss is still blind. He can't do anything and he's dead. A matter of seconds. Very quick way to farm. Now I will go in again and show you the second setup where we use Arcane Shield instead. You'll notice as well, while I'm just waiting for this, I'm not running with any food here. You don't need food. My gear is complete Zerk, so I should clarify this. Everything about what I'm doing is 100% Berserker. My staff has a Bloodlust Sigil on and a Night Sigil on. It is neither Night in this instance, nor am I able to build Bloodlust without killing all the bosses down below for hours and hours and hours. So basically, I'm doing this with no food and no sigils. My runes are Scholar runes. Yeah, so and this could be even quicker if you actually equip more appropriate sigils. I just don't want to, spend some different money on something else. Alright, here we go. This guy just died, so I'm going to be ready to go in here. I'm going to put my Glyph of Storms early here, just to sort of simulate a real situation. Let's imagine we just killed Halmi with the Sandstorm. We've come out, and we're going instantly back in because we have an arena to ourselves. So here we go. We begin. We begin by targeting the boss. Also, if you've got your Glyph of Elementals up, I'd recommend it for this particular one. I still start in Earth just to get the Eruption there for the blast. He's going to move in blind from the first air attack. Then you pop your Arcane Shield. And now you're going to start slamming him with Lava Fonts and doing your best. Now, you may go down, but you're still going to get the kill very quickly. And by the next time you go in the arena, I popped this just before I recorded. Next time you go in the arena, once again, your Sandstorm is going to be up. You just select your stuff. Just as your Signet of Air comes off cooldown, you jump immediately back in. And that's how it works if you're doing like the double farm. If you find you're going down a lot, by the way, you can totally get rid of Internal Fire and instead take Lava Tomb. Lava Tomb will enable you to defeat Halmi Hammerfell entirely from downstate, like 100% of his health. As long as you drop a Lava Font before you go down and then the second one triggers on the trait, you will do crazy damage. Also, I would recommend this trait if you want to go up to the 5 gambits setup. So that's what I'm going to talk about now. If you want to do 5 gambits, my personal recommendation would be to keep Arcane Shield, but you could also run with Arcane Wave. And there are 2 options you have if you want to go to the 5 gambit setup. So first, we'll go to the Fight Manager. We're going to go on the same boss, Halmi Hammerfell. And for gambits, this is what we're going to choose. If we want that extra gambit, if we want that extra chance each time we go in, we're going to take Exhausted. This stops us from being able to dodge. On Fire, this ticks our health down. Frailty, this means we get one shot basically. We're going to take Hamstrung, and our decision now is Squeamish or Crowd Favorite. Our entire tactic here is to spike the boss down very quickly. Squeamish means we do very, very low damage. It means it's a little bit longer to farm, but you can absolutely still kill this boss. You just need to start kiting and strafing a little bit towards the end, and if you need it, absolutely the Lava Tomb trait should save your bacon and allow you to survive. So I'll show that to you guys. Squeamish, we're going to go pretend, we'll just treat it as if we've got other people in the arena since we do. No Arcane Shield, though Arcane Shield will help you a lot with the Squeamish, because once your blind fields ran out, if the boss is still alive, you can pop your Arcane Shield. We're going to go like pretty YOLO here though with Arcane Wave. Speak to the Ringmaster, queue in, hopefully before that guy does. He already did, so I guess I'll be waiting a while. But I'll see you guys in a second, and we'll show you one of the options for 5 gambits set up. As you can see down here, 5 gambits enabled. Alright, this should be my turn to come in now. Exactly the same thing, same rotation. We're just going to kite a little bit towards the end. And the only change here is we're going to be doing a lot less damage. So here we go. Eruption, Sandstorm, Signet of Air, swap over for the Lava Font. There's the Arcane Wave. The blasts are really powerful just for giving us the Fury. I'm going to pop an Arcane Brilliance there to keep myself up also. And so now once the blinds have stopped ticking, as you can see they now have, you're going to want to make sure you actually start dodge rolling, keeping behind him. Now another advantage of being against this wall here is that if you use Burning Evade, you can... Burning Retreat, that's it. If you use Burning Retreat, you can push it against the wall quite a lot and basically simulate like a very mini, very rubbish little Fiery Greatsword rush. As you can see, it's slightly more risky, but it's still very much doable. One thing that people might be put off with going for that 5 gambit setup is it does take longer to kill the boss, so in theory, it's like a longer to farm the whole bunch. But what you guys need to realize is every time you choose to fight a boss and every gambit you enable, you're spending a ticket. And if you beat the boss, you then basically get that number's worth of tickets out as chances. So all you're really doing is converting your tickets into chances, and you're always going to be capped out on the amount of tickets you have. So going for like insanely risky 5 gambit farms that maybe take longer might not be worth your while. Like you can only farm until you've ran out of tickets, and maybe that kind of min-max isn't just appropriate for you. In terms of acquiring tickets, you can buy them just down here. I would not say it's worth it even slightly. The best way to get tickets is to find a group who is doing the actual Crown Pavilion farm down below. You get tons of tickets. All these tickets I've got here, just a couple of hours doing that farm down below, where you also get hundreds of champ boxes. It's really all tied into actually doing that content down below as well, and you get a bunch of tickets to convert into chances. This may be one reason why the rewards from these chances are so expensive right now, because not only do you need to know how to farm these things, you've also got to get the steady income of the tickets at the same time. Anyway, so there you go. That's one option for your 5 gambit farm. The other option is to choose Crowd Favorite. Crowd Favorite may sound like suicide, but it's really not. And Arcane Shield really helps with Crowd Favorite, and I'll demonstrate that to you guys here. You don't need it. You don't need Arcane Shield ever. The only time you need Arcane Shield is if you're hopping in and out constantly. There you go. So Crowd Favorite. This adds a second boss to the arena. Now, I'm going to let that guy have another attempt at Liadri here, because I need to explain something to you guys. When you run with Crowd Favorite, it changes the AI of the boss. The boss will no longer wait for you to aggro it. It will just charge you straight away. So if you're doing it with Crowd Favorite, you need to move in instantly. You need to be ready and target as quickly as possible with the Signet of Air. Otherwise, you're screwed. He's going to jump in and hit you before you've got anything cast. Remember, these things are this thing is instant activation, so prioritize that even over the Eruption when you're running with Crowd Favorite. Or maybe, if you really feel scared, you can open up with an Arcane Shield, block the first couple of attacks, and have your blinds rolling afterwards. The reason why Crowd Favorite works on this particular farm is Signet of Air is AoE, and so is Sandstorm. So the blinds we were applying before affect both the bosses. Both the bosses is just as blind as one another. The difference is the additional boss that spawns is a Quaggan who has a faster attack rate than the Halmi Hammerfell guy we've been fighting. And so the Quaggan will get a few straight attacks in here and there on you. It is very likely you'll go down in Crowd Favorite, and maybe even go down and then instantly defeated in Crowd Favorite. So you have to be careful. If you do go down in the Crowd Favorite fight, make sure you pop Vapor Form as quickly as possible. This will enable you to survive and be invulnerable while your double Lava Font Meteor Shower does its work, okay? So, here we go. Hopefully that's all described, because I cannot rap quick enough to be able to talk to you guys about all that as we do it. Let's just see how it goes. So we're going to engage on the arena. Number one priority is to get that blind up right away. So there you go. I've already popped it. They're blind. I'm going with the Sandstorm there. Arcane Shield as well, just for a little bit of safety. There's the Meteor Shower. You can pop an Arcane Brilliance if you want, or you can go immediately for Lava Font. There you go. I went down, but I instantly Vapor Formed, and I did kill the boss. I'm downstate up here, but the bosses did die very quickly, just as quick as, you know, we'd been doing the other one. You don't always go down either, like, and yes, as you can see here, this is where it gets a little bit risky. So it's up to you, Squeamish or Crowd Favorite. Crowd Favorite is slightly more risky, but just as quick as anything else, while Squeamish is a little bit slower, but also a little bit safer. Here you can see I finally got a free arena, so I can actually demonstrate to you guys the hopping in and out now. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about farming this on an Ellie. Maybe there's some classes that can do it quicker on different bosses, but this I found to be very reliable and very comfortable, especially if you're just going for 4 gambits, because you don't want to, you know, blow through your tickets so quickly. It's a lot better in that regard. Oh, well, we got another player here now. Let's just see if we can go in one more time, just for demonstration. And yeah, we'll do one more 4 gambit run. My recommendation would be find a friend who wants to do the farm with you, because it kind of sucks waiting on people to kill the Agi because they take so long. But if you've got another friend farming as quick as you are, you know, you can just be hopping in and out very, very fast and burn through your tickets each day without any worry at all. So here we go. Eruption, Glyph of Storms, in the middle cast Signet of Air, swap to Fire Attunement, Lava Font. We don't need Arcane Shield here. You can use the skill 3, that boosts your damage by 10%, by the way. Keep yourself healed up. There you go, he's down. And then immediately, someone jumped in. And then instantly, but you can see here, we would just immediately pick our gambits here. On Fire, Frailty, Hamstrung. We can come over to the Fight Manager, Halmi Hammerfell, and we would zone in. And by the time we zone in, Signet of Air is basically ready to go. We don't need the Sandstorm, we can cover it with Arcane Shield. And you just farm to your heart's content. Anyway, there you go, guys. That's the video. We had 37 Gauntlet Chances in this. Will we get anything? I've never got anything, by the way. I must have farmed maybe 750 of these by this point. I haven't got a single drop. But every now and then you'll get something. You'll get, like, the Favor of the Pavilion. It's just something fun you can do, you know? Something to spend your tickets on before the event goes away. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you have fun farming. Leave any tips you might have in the comments down below. And I will see you next time.